Good Saturday of racing coming up at Woodbine. It is closing weekend up there. So Saturday and Sunday, the two final days of thoroughbred racing this year up at Woodbine. It has been a blast. I've covered Woodbine races this year on the daily basis for the first time. I've really enjoyed it. I've had some good days and bad days like we all do as handicappers and gamblers, but I've enjoyed interacting with a lot of you out there who play the Woodbine races, and I've really enjoyed the product. It's just a great product as far as finding value. It's one of those racetracks where you can always find some value somewhere. And some days the results are a little crazy, but that's what I like as a handicapper and as a gambler. And I also like free all access pass performances. You can get those right now if you sign up for DRF bets. So go right now, sign up for DRF bets, use the promo code STAKES. If you deposit $200, they will match that deposit bonus. They'll actually give you 200 right back. So your 200 turns into 400. They give you 10 free all access pass performances, 10 free cards. We're going to be looking at one card right now for Saturday, and I think it is a good card. So let's take a look at these past performances. I'm going to start in race number 4. Remember that in the second race, there's an early pick 5 that has a $100,000 guaranteed pool. You can play for just a 20-cent base wager. This fourth race, I like the 2 Stolen. Now, this is a horse who took a little while to put it all together, but I like the recent races that all are synthetic sprints. November the 10th going 6 on the synthetic, breaks the maiden finally. October 13th, going 5.5 on the synthetic, 4th that day, but a pretty good effort chasing a lone speed winner. So there was no passing in that race. Tossed the race on the turf on October the 1st. Before that, this horse was off since December 9th. So she's only making her 4th start back off of a 10-month break. Her 2 races to end the season last year, sprinting on the synthetic, they were good. She was 5th. She was only beaten like 2.25, but 6.5 even might be a little farther than what she likes. 6 furlongs when she finished 3rd against Maiden Specials on December 9th. That was a good effort. Look at the 7 furlong race on October the 1st. She was competitive there. The mile and a 16th race on October the 29th last year, that's too far for her. You see, you can kind of figure it out. Like, she wants to go about between, 5 and 7 furlongs. Right around 6 is the perfect mark for her. That's where she put it all together last time out. She beat a horse who came back to win their next start. I think she's just heading in the right direction right now. I like Stolen, 10-1 on the morning line. Anything around 6-1 will make a win wager there. The 5th race right next door, but the number 3, All for Honor, was intriguing. So this filly, I was following along with her the last 2 races, really. Because on November the 30th, she had legitimate trouble. I mean, she had good late energy down on the inside. And then I figured stretching out on December the 7th, she'd get an extra furlong to work with, and she might have a little more real estate, and she could run well. So I threw her in a lot of exotics, and she was 20-1. She was a big price that day. She ran really well. And I want to show the race here. So she's the number 7 in this race that we are going to be watching. And she has a slowish start. That's the concern. Her last 2 starts, both, and in basically all of her races, she's had bad beginnings. So she's last early in this race. She's 7th. She's about 5 lengths off or so in this field of 7. At one point, maybe even a little more. It's not like they're going fast in here. She moves down to the inside, and she's behind horses. So she gets kind of caught up in traffic, because you can see she's much closer. Like, she's traveling pretty well. Not that far out of it early on. She's only about 4 lengths out. And then what's going to happen, it's going to turn out where she just has 0 room down towards the inside. So right now she's still waiting down towards the inside, looking for that room. She looked like she was going to go in between horses. And then as horses started to stack up to the outside and they wanted to go wide, she stayed inside, All for Honor. And right here, she's like right behind the leaders, just nowhere to go. Nowhere at all to go. Can't get up that really tight seam along the rail, just begging and pleading for room, crying out for space, none whatsoever. and she's going to finish a close-up fifth there along the inside. Now stretching back out, I think she will be a little closer early on. If she can just get out of the gate quicker, should be just a lot closer in this race, mid-pack to forwardly placed. She's definitely got ability, and she runs in spots. That's the number 3, All for Honor. Let's keep rolling along through the card. So there were back-to-back races where I'm going to give you horses that may not be huge prices, but I think they can beat favorites in here. So in the 7th race, Silent Sky will likely be favored, but Silent Sky is a filly who has burned money a few times. She always runs really well, but she's one of those types that seems like she doesn't mind settling for some minors. So with her running style too, and cutting back to 7 furlongs, she'll probably be coming from a little more off the pace. Whereas you have the 8, Tavaline, who I think is the horse to catch in here. It doesn't look like there's anyone in here that's as quick as she is early. You have Seattle Causeway, who's cutting back from some route races, not quite that quick early on. And just going through the rest of the field, I think the lead is hers. And just depends on, can she get the 7 furlongs? She's going to make the 3rd start off the long layoff with the blinkers coming off. That should help her relax a little bit. I hope she's aggressively handled, and I hope she can open up on this field early on. Tavaline could be a horse I single in exotics against the favorite here. The horse who I think Silent Sky will end up going off favor. And then right next door in the 8th race, another similar situation where Jayhawk, dropping out of that good 3rd in the grade 3 gray, will be really popular at the windows. I think he'll likely be the one to beat. But Competitive Touch, stretching out from sprint races. If he gets this trip, he's going to be loose on the front end. He's the fastest in here, and he's stretching out from the inside. So I think Competitive Touch, another situation where maybe you could play a couple different tickets. One where I single Tavaline, one where I single Competitive Touch, key in on these two. If they're horses that float up for any reason, I could play them to win. But I think more in exotics, these are horses that we could build around and take a shot against some of the other short price favorites. And then we move to race number 9, right next door. I wanted to mention a couple in here because I did think both the 3 and the 4 could be forwardly placed in a race that I didn't think had that much speed for a 6 furlong sprint. So that means Living on Love, who gets off the inside, coming off of a good runner-up effort behind Princess of the North. I could see Living on Love being right on the lead, or Know How, who's right next door. This horse drew the rail the last 2 times. And she's quicker than what she showed in that most recent start. She kind of got, down on the inside. Sometimes you're kind of at the mercy of the trip, everyone else, if you're not really fast early. I think they're going to try to get more aggressive with her in here. Those are 2 horses that I definitely wanted to mention to throw into your exotics if you're playing any late exotics there in the 9th. And then in race number 10, one more worth mentioning, way to the outside. I am a little concerned about the possible wide trip, but I think from a fits at this level and should be a nice price, I'm a Beast. Just really versatile too. He may have to be more forwardly placed with the outside draw, but he can sit off and pass as long as he doesn't get hooked 4, 5, 6 wide, which he very well could in here. But I think the price might be built into it a little. So that's the 14. I'm a Beast. On Saturday, the second to last day of the meet at Woodbine, we'll have a video for Sunday and talk about some of those mandatory payout exotic sequences. We'll be looking at the daily racing form past performances. Remember, free all-access PPs when you sign up for a DRF Bets account right now. Go do it. Good luck on Saturday at Woodbine.